thought I would try to correct a problem from yesterday's podcast where I had the camera angle wrong and it looked like I was talking to everybody from the basement. So I'm switching cameras to get a sort of better look at what I'm trying to get across. It has a kind of a broader angle to it, but that's okay. Look behind me, and anybody that keeps two stuffed yellow dolls on his bookcase has to be a little bit weird anyway. But I'm here to talk to you about aging in America. It's a critical topic. Steadily aging population, life expectancy, declining birth rates. Here are some facts. In 2020, there were approximately 56 million of us that were 65 and over. By 2030, which is only, 6 years away, that number is going to increase to 73 million. I think this is according to the census figures. And by 2040, the older population is expected to grow to over 80 million people. The life expectancy is approximately 76 years, with women living longer than men on the average, 79 versus 73 respectively. The 85 and older population, that's sort of the group I'm talking to. You're my peeps. The fastest growing age group is projected to almost double. From almost 7 million in 2020, holy moly, 14 million by 2040. That's only 6 years away. Then there's the health and well-being. Chronic conditions. We can't ignore the health issues because 80% of older adults have at least one chronic condition: arthritis, hypertension, heart disease, diabetes. In fact, half of us have more, 2 or more. I certainly do. Depression is an underdiagnosed emotional mental health issue in our age group. Cognitive decline is a major concern. Almost 7 million Americans aged 65 and over living with Alzheimer's in 2023. Adults have a disability, with mobility issues being the most common. That's about 36% of our group. Here is a sobering economic reality. In 2021, 3 years ago, the median income headed by someone age 65 and over was approximately $47,000 a year. Almost 10% of older adults live below the poverty line, with higher rates among women and minorities. Many older Americans are now working longer than expected to be in the labor force. And, we've heard the joke about the Walmart greeters and the people at checkout stations and grocery stores, but a lot of people my age don't have a choice. If my money were to run out, that's exactly what I would be thinking about doing. in our age group, it's estimated that almost 41 million Americans provide care to an adult 50 or older. And that causes significant economic and emotional burdens. About 75% of older adults live with a spouse or a family member. And nearly 30% of older adults live alone, which can increase the risk of social and health issues. Assisted living and nursing homes. Approximately 1.5 million adults are in that category, according to some of the latest statistics. And they may be a bit out of date. I don't pretend to know, be an expert on this, and you're free to challenge my numbers. If you come up with something different, let me know in the comments below. Then we get into the future challenges. Those of us that are in this age group, we are responsible for more than 1.1 trillion spent annually on healthcare for older adults. Long-term care costs are a growing concern. Nursing homes can exceed $100,000 a year. Social Security and Medicare, what can you say? Population ages, fewer workers, supporting retirees, and now we have the threat that the people in power are talking about cutting back on the safety net. I find that really scary for those of us that depend on it, even if I can augment it with a meager account that provides some financial support. Is this scary? Well, maybe it should be, especially when we're facing the possibility that some of these services are going to be challenged and cut back and privatized, whatever that means. But we're a generation that led the way. I look back to 1937, but in the 60s, back that up, in the 50s, we were starting to protest nuclear weapons and the use. Popular movie at the time was On the Beach by Neville Shute. Gregory Peck is outstanding in that movie, but it was emphasizing the potential of a nuclear disaster worldwide. Then in the 60s, along came the civil rights movement, and those of us that were really concerned about that put our hearts and money trying to support in some way, because we instinctively knew that it was wrong to exclude and marginalize people of color. As we moved along into the transition into protesting the war in Vietnam and all the later protests that went along, I think we realized that perhaps we're a generation that knows how to protest, how to speak truth to power. Am I too old to be taking action about what I see is is happening in this country when I see power salutes prominently shown at political rallies. And the increase in anti-Semitism and anti-gay, anti just about anything that somebody can take offense with. But I think our hope is that we can turn some of that turn that into some of those lessons learned in standing up and saying, we want a just society. And it doesn't make any difference. Jews, Christians, and Muslims all support a loving, caring society that takes care of those in need in our society. Are we going to be able to fix this? Do something about it? Oh, I'm suggesting that we not only should, we have to. Because the alternative is that we're going to lose all the gains that have been made since the New Deal established the first Social Security payout. I don't want to end on a downer, but these are the facts that we're dealing with. So as we move on in this dialogue about aging, we need to keep in mind that not everybody has the checkbook of Bezos and Elon Musk and the multi-billionaires. Most of us, in fact, it's estimated that over 95% of us live far, far, far below that in what we can access through our checkbooks. But let's not take it lying down. We can form a sacred resistance to protect all those things that we need for those of us in our age. I hope you give that some thought and can join me in that. I'm hoping that also the next video is going to be a little less gloomy because there are some exciting things ahead for seniors. And I don't want to close out on doom and gloom. Instead, join me next time. I promise. We're going to have a little more fun. Thank you. This is Chuck Waldron, and I approve of this video.